Richard Johnson, thanks ever so much for joining us. Just finished training the day ahead of the Kent game. Fabulous win last time out. What a difference a week makes. Win here against Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've spoken about throughout our interviews so far, we knew this season was going to be tough, against tough opposition. Didn't get it any easier against Notts, obviously. They put us under a lot of pressure in the game, and then obviously on that last day we had an opportunity to go for a win, which we decided to do, and the boys played fantastically well to see us over the line.
I guess Notts came out on that fourth day probably hoping that they'd find a bit of time to add a few more runs on just to give themselves a little bit of security. Were you surprised when that declaration came and they threw us in needing 249? Not
really. I think at the start of the day, if we'd got more play in, you got to remember we were in a position where they were 150 for 6.
Yeah.
So we felt we were on the front foot with that as well, and we were going to try and bowl them out and chase what we bowled them out for. So for them to lose that amount of time in the game, they obviously saw that as a 40 over gamble worth taking. Not sure they probably thought we were going to maybe go after it straight away, but with a little tweak of the order with S going in and trying to get us off to a good start, I think the boys at the top there played fantastically well to get us ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And then it's difficult to then defend with a short boundary when you need less than 6 and over, when we got it down to sort of 5 and over. But the boys did brilliantly to see that through.
I guess, Jono, that's one of the joys of 4-day cricket, is the Notts have copped a bit of flack and also a bit of praise for that declaration, but I guess what a fantastic advertisement for the 4-day game.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's obviously a lot of talk around the Bazball stuff. We'll keep talking about it, I'm sure, all year, about being on the front foot and playing aggressive, progressive cricket, and yeah, all credit to them for giving that a go. You've got to remember they've got one of the greatest bowlers of our generation in Stuart Broad opening the bowling for them, so they would have felt in very capable hands with him up top. So for us to get over that and make it not look easy, but certainly time that run chase to perfection, I thought was amazing for our lads who have been under the cosh a little bit the last couple of games with wickets that have done a little bit, and we've been suffering a little bit, as you know, as we've chatted about. So for the guys to have a bit of freedom to go and express themselves and play some shots, and I thought the way they did that, as I said earlier, was magnificent, and full credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that must take a little bit of pressure off. Some runs for Peter Milan, some runs for Max Holden. What difference does that make to the mood in the camp and the confidence in the camp going into this one against Kent? The fact that we've got out there, spent a bit of time in the middle, put up a gutsy run chase and got some points on the board.
I think it's obviously important. We've spoken, as I said, from the start, that we'll stay very level as a management group and as a playing group. It's professional sport. It's tough at the top. You're going to have bad days.
Yeah.
For us to get over on this one obviously gives everyone a boost, and confidence-wise, people hitting the ball out the middle in a match situation rather than practices. It all adds up. Obviously, it does. But the mood is very level again. We're not going to get too excited about winning one game.
No.
And the challenges keep coming. Kent are another good side this week.
Whilst credit goes to the batters, a quick word on Ethan Bamber, who obviously shone up at Northants at Wantage Road. Did exactly the same here against Notts at Lords. He looked outstanding.
Yeah, I think Bams has come back from Australia and bowled beautifully well throughout the early season. As all the bowlers are now sort of firing, and it's difficult selection problems with the bowlers because they're all doing their part. I think if you look at that game, he even had Duckett nicked off early, that we didn't take that opportunity, and that innings at that time was changing the game.
Very different game.
It would have been a very different game. So, yes, everyone's coming to the party now, and it's nice to see. We've got to keep on it now, keep on the front foot, keep that confidence high, and keep playing good cricket now.
Going into the next game against Kent, you've named an unchanged squad. I suppose it's important at this stage of the season, we spoke about this last week, but you've got a full complement of fit seamers there. I guess that gives you every opportunity to assess the wicket, look at the side that Kent are putting out, and actually make some calls on which seamer is going to play. The last thing you want to be doing, I guess, at this stage is over bowling players.
Absolutely. as we've been saying to the guys, from a seam bowling point of view, we've got 6-7 guys who we know can all play, all do a job in the first team. We're going to rest and rotate around to look after them. It's hard playing 3-4 games on the bounce. We've got a week off after this one, then we've got another back-to-back, and then we're in the T20s. It all comes around really thick and fast. So it's good to have a full complement, but we'll assess it in the morning and go from there.
Quick word on this week's opponents. I think he's a cousin of Nick Compton. Ben, obviously doing good stuff down at Kent. Zach Crawley coming into some runs this week. Outside of those two, they've been pretty light on the batting front. I think they've only got 2 points to their name so far this season. And on the bowling front, I think they've got 2 seamers on 6 wickets. 3 of them, I think, are on 3. We must be going into this with some confidence. Pretty hopeful that we can back this up.
I think we're going into the game with confidence because of our performance. As I said, they were in the first division last year. They stayed in the first division. They're a good side. People were talking about us being that team before Sunday. So you know how it can turn around, and good players will always come good ultimately. So we don't take anything lightly. We're certainly not taking Kent lightly. They're a first division side, and we'll respect that 100%. But we'll be concentrating on us as a team and as individuals in that team.
Jono, thanks ever so much for your time. All the very best luck for the next 4 days. I dare say we will catch up next week.